Syracuse, New York native Henry Heidi and his family, it's a reality. Like a suburban Swiss Family Robinson, the Heidis largely live a sustainable lifestyle, growing their own vegetables, raising chickens, and picking from over 20 fruit trees, including a pretty abundant papaya tree. As a northerner, you come down to this part of the world and you see people who are actually sort of that whole living the dream thing, and it's reality down here. Recently, the Heidis discovered another backyard food to feast on: iguanas. They're an invasive species, South American natives brought to the U.S. as exotic pets, now breeding like crazy and carving a destructive path through people's yards and gardens. There are thousands of them here on Sugarloaf Key, so Henry, his son Matt, and I grabbed a couple of old pellet guns and set out to shoot some. A few of the neighborhood kids paddled off on their own to see what they could catch. Apparently, everyone loves to hunt iguanas.
We're looking for iguanas sunning themselves in the afternoon.
Which they love to do.
Yep, in their afternoon heat here. After they eat our garden, they come use the heat of the sun to help them digest.
Oh, shh. Right there on the limb. Reload, he's right there.
Yeah, I see him.
And you want to use my shoulder, balance your
Yeah.
rifle on?
Let's try that.
You wouldn't think hitting a sleeping iguana would be so hard. We all missed until Henry nailed it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Peter.
Very nicely done, Henry. 3 dudes, 5 shots. But it turns out it's the last one that counted. Once you start looking, these things really are everywhere. Oh, nicely done, young man. Nailed him. Remember those neighborhood kids? Mason and Topher don't even need weapons.
I got him.
Just bare hands and quick reflexes. The native skill set is impressive. We're all meeting back at the Heidis, and on the way home, Henry stops by some of the stone crab traps he set in the bay. Henry tears off the claws and tosses the animal back in the water so they can grow again. Lunch just keeps getting better and better. For bait, Henry uses iguana entrails to reset the traps. Nothing gets my taste buds rocking or sets up my appetite like the merging, mingling smell of rotted iguana carcasses and fish heads on a hot Florida day.
Yeah, pretty special.
Henry was introduced to iguana by a friend from Honduras. Since then, he's learned to prepare them several different ways. Now, for anybody who thinks that by hunting and eating iguana, we're going to decimate this population into extinction, let me just point out the sheer number of eggs that are coming out of that.
Yes, this is also a very healthy iguana. As you can tell, they have a separate organ that holds their fat. So a lot of this fat has gone into the yolk, but this still has a fair amount.
Preparing the iguana involves removing the eggs, slicing off the legs and tail, and then trimming away the skin. The meat is marinated for a few hours in rice wine vinegar, chilies, papaya, garlic, and red onion.
That is gorgeous. Let's put it on the coals before they die down too much here.
The Heidis cook over buttonwood coals from trees grown on his property, of course. Oh my goodness, does that smell fantastic? Super. Nothing goes to waste. So while the meat cooks, we snack on the soft-boiled iguana eggs. One of my favorite treats in the whole world. This you do not get very often. Not even with every iguana.
No.
I'm going to go with your little, when in Rome sort of thing. Little vinegar and salt. You like these?
Yeah.
You love this. It's been on your training table for years. Iguanas have a soft shell. That's the shell. So you cut it or bite it with your teeth and then just squeeze all the goodies out.
And it's very rich. Tastes very similar to chicken egg yolk, but just richer.
Here's the thing. It's similar in texture, but the fat in a chicken egg gives it a flavor that is really unique, and it is very poultry-ish. These cold-blooded animals, they just have they're less rich. And while this is the fattiest part of the experience, For some reason, I don't think of chicken when I eat it. I think of reptile egg. Maybe I've eaten them too much. You're going to pass this on to your kids, though, right?
Yeah.
I admire that. Absolutely. No question, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be the only one to eat strange foods in my house.
No.
I mean...
Oh, yeah. Food. You know what you're doing. Everything we're eating has been hunted, grown, or foraged here on the Heidi's property.